ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mark Pyre's Renaissance Man.
Okay, people, gather around. The Mark Pyre's Renaissance Man show. Is he still alive? Wait, hold on, I'm not done. Trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2. Is he still alive?
He is Dr. Evil.
Why is he still alive, and why did you answer when I was asking number 2? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2!
A plan is in the works, Dr. Evil.
This is wonderful news, number 2. Over 1,000 days in a row, we've managed to keep the world from knowing he exists.
Dr. Evil, he's still going and doesn't care.
Well, we need to find another way to stop the show. He's making me look bad, you know? Yeah, no. Perhaps we can make him look like racist or something?
That may work, Dr. Evil.
Perhaps we can get the media to cancel him?
This is your best idea yet, Dr. Evil.
Okay, number 2. Get me Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Fauci is on the evil monitor.
Thank you, number 2. Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil. It's Dr. Fauci.
Well, Dr. Fauci. It looks like the gig is up. The Renaissance Man show knows all about you.
Yeah, look, they created a character after me. We gotta squash him like the friggin' mouse that he is. He calls me a weasel, Fauci. I'm not a weasel, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm Dr. Fauci, okay? Don't call me Dr. Weasel Fauci, okay? Because that's anecdotal.
Anecdotal Fauci. That's what they're always making fun of you about. That you're always anecdotal.
No, I know. It's like I said, everything's anecdotal.
Excellent. Dr. Fauci, initiate the final plan.
They never even asked you. Welcome, family and friends, to the Mark Pyre's Renaissance Man Show. We are live every single day of the year for unscripted live comedy, songwriting in the moment, and total inspiration. So join us on a tour of some of the accomplishments and content created in the first 1,000 days and counting of Renaissance Man. So far in 2021, 12 albums and 156 songs have been released into the world. But we're not even close to done yet, fam. My plan is to put an album out every month for the rest of my days, as well as show up for you every single night. I've created 3 feature films this year: Batmark vs. Supermark, Three's Company the Breakup Artist, and A Christmas Story. Within these comedies, many original characters have surfaced. You know, we have Batmark, Dick Face, which he doesn't look like this really, but that's Foch. And then of course Supermark, who's pretty freaking super if you ask me, just saying. Hammerlin Jameson's a bit of a drunkard, and he tried to get the role of Supermark. It didn't go well. He does all right at a side gig of, newscaster situation. But you can see in that top photo, he's not doing too well these days. Anyway. Dr. Wayne Doppler, tallest man alive, 8'9", Guinness, and he's also in the Batmark and Supermark movie. And Dr. Weasel Fauci, if you don't know who he is, wear 5,647 masks, especially if you're going to Mars. Stuck on Mars. I will be making a movie out of that. Sid 45, make sure you don't get rupees. Sid has rupees literally pouring out of his igloo. Francesco Vigilughi. Look, if you ever need a cartographer, there's just one guy. The Curious Case of Ben Affleck Head. It's about a guy with a head so large, he could literally change the poles. Oh, Dystopia 2021. If you missed that, that's the world we're living in today. If you haven't seen it, I did a couple episodes on it. BB Poo Poo. Don't forget we did 3 cryptos this year. BB Poo Poo, Pee Pee Poo Poo, and of course, Shibbity Bibbity Boo. But it almost was wrecked because of the original Shiggity Boo Boo. Well, look, people are still on the fence, Things were pretty bad for BB Poo Poo at the beginning. And of course, we have many episodes of Spider-Mark, Peter Marker. If you didn't know, check it out. Mark Pirates of the Caribbean. That was a hilarious movie. And then if you can't dance, you just, watch this episode. There's 2 of them. Really good stuff. And did you watch Match Game? I did it. And Pressure Luck in it. We did a little Pressure Luck style too, Peter DeMarkin. And if you didn't see Waterworld 2027, I'm the last one left because of the bugaboo. We did many other homages to movies and TV shows and Pache Mulder.
Sonny, you still got the cough?
There are over 100 insane scenes with Dick Pache. And then of course I saved the world, saved all the animals and stuff too. Zucker Chooch, Donald Trump Show, make sure you check that out. And we did a couple of raps over the last year. You may not want to miss those. Trump, Biden, and Christopher Walken rapping? Yeah. Back to the Future, Mark. Guys, the next movie that's coming out, Back to the Future, Mark. You may not remember some of the characters that I was in the past, so let's just go over it in real time. Marxist, I did it. 10 Commandments. Mark Stradamus, telling the future, of course. Oh, and the artwork I created as Leo Marco da Vinci. The Mona Lisa, when I got that freaking red, like murdering a family. That was what O.J. Simpson of the 1600s. Hey, Michelangelo, after you finish that, sculpture, you think you could paint this ceiling? Got it. Circumnavigating the globe is Mark Jellin. Markola Tesla? If I didn't do my time here as Markola, you guys would have nothing when it comes to electricity. I still can't believe it. I'm sitting there, I'm writing the Fur Elise, right? I'm in the middle of it. And they're scratching it out and they're writing freaking that hack Beethoven's name on it, right? Don't even get me started on what they did when I was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Doing the fifth and taking all that work. And then like modern days, when I'm doing Mark and M, doing the 8 Mile situation. I'm like Mark and M's the man now, but like what I paved the way is the Marktorious B.I.G. as well. When I was Mark Claude Van Damme, I remember that one. Oh, Mark Schwarzenegger? You didn't know I was Mark Schwarzenegger? Yeah, that was funny when I worked next to DeVito. The Emancipation Marklamation of 1863. I did my time as Abraham Mark Lincoln. You guys didn't know I was Abraham Mark? You guys are all Mark Della'd. That's why this is all part of the Mark Della effect. Everybody's like, Mandela, man. No, it's Mark Della. Get with it. And then the time I was Mark Guyver, remember, you give me a friggin' toothpick and like some tooth floss and we're off. I'm building a bomb. So that's just a good overview of a lot of the shows, not all of them. We have tons of new gear up on the website, guys, markpires.com. In there you can pick up your gear, you can pick up a signed CD, and also don't forget about beatseat.rocks, my invention that I patented. This is her sitting on it. And this is a little demo I made. Welcome to BeatSeat.rocks. My name is Mark Pires, and I'm the inventor of the Beat Seat. Today I'm going to share all of the details of the Beat Seat. It's the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. It's got 4 playable panels, omnitone. Everywhere you hit it sounds different. It's the first drum you could sit completely upright and play with your hands and feet at the same time. It's the Beat Seat. It's the only drum that you could play with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. Anything you'd play in a drum kit, you could play on this, because you're playing with your entire body, but you're sitting upright. Your feet do this. So that's the Beat Seat, the ultimate percussion drum. You could play it with your hands, with your feet at the same time. It has unlimited tones. There's so much to explore. I hope to build one for you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. And of course, fam, I can't leave you without a little bit of motivation. So take these quotes with you as we get ready to rock for one more night. And yes, we will be doing it again tomorrow. So, until I see you in just a moment, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man.
stars glowing, I'm going to find a way. Some night when the world stops hating, we're going to find a way.
Tickets are available at the box office. Thanks for helping us keep the theater clean. As you exit the auditorium, please deposit litter in trash receptacles in the lobby. Please be considerate and don't talk during the show.
Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
It's Thursday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Renaissance Man.
Looking for another way.
I'm here to ease my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1123 in a row of the Renaissance Man Show. And we're going to get into it just like we do every single night, fam and friends. I hope you're ready for it because we're going to make some magic tonight, just like we do every night. What are we going to do, Mark? We've got a bunch of news stories to kick us off. And then we're going to play some music. We're gonna do something. I got songs for you. We got some comedy, and of course, the weekend update essentially is a daily weekend update situation. That's what we do here on the Renaissance Man Show. We're doing a daily news update, and it's not like a typical news update because most people review the news before they speak it. I read it in real freaking time. I pull titles, just like whatever. You want to get into it now? No, I know, Zabrosk. I know you got a woohoo coming up. I want to get into the news. Doing it. Getting into it. Story after story. Byline after byline. A lot of space news today. Yeah. Going to the moon. You want to go? No, Zabrosk. You can't go to the moon. They don't need a woohoo guy. Yeah. On the rocket. Going up to the moon. You think they need Matt Zabrosk there going, woohoo! Good job pulling that lever. They don't need you to say the woohoo as they pull the lever, Zabrosk, okay? Oh, wow, woohoo! You really pushed that button well over there, Neil Armstrong. Wow. Imagine if they went the first time around to go to the moon and they're like, look, we needed Matt Zabrosk. We can't do it without Zabrosk. We need a woohoo guy when it gets tough. There are times when it's really tough. You're out there, and you're looking out the little periscope window situation out there and you're seeing stars in the distance, and then you're scared because you're all alone in the middle of the cosmos. We're 250,000 miles away from home. We could really use a woohoo right now. Bang biggity boo. You got a Zabrosk in that moment. So you got to remember, sometimes you need a Zabrosk when you're doing a flying to the moon. It's a mission. You're taking that mission to the stars. Well, to the moon, but whatever. I'm just curious, did we go? Are we going first time in it? I'm just trying to figure it out. I've seen a lot of really crazy videos when it comes to how things would have gotten done if they did get done back in the 60s when they say things were done. Nobody else in the world ever did it. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. I think maybe China. Did China go to the moon? Look, they're the moon. Excuse me. Excuse me. Are you freaking kidding me? They're on the moon. I told President G-Hole, you bring me next time, okay? I'm the Trumper. I'm going to go build a freaking skyscraper on the moon. Yeah. Oh, Zabroski. We're needing a woohoo just about now. I did a little fake out. You guys are worried. You're like, where is he? Is he over there today? No. Zabrosk, I threw him for a right hook. Yeah, old Sonny Liston. Yeah, Muhammad Ali did the rope-a-dope, but when Sonny Liston came along, he took him down. And that was a big deal, Trish Killian! Woohoo! Zabrosk, can we get another woohoo for the $20 donation from Trish Killian?
No, Zabrowski, you are not able to get the donation. It's not for you. It's for the Renaissance Man show. You want a piece of it in order to do a woohoo? No, I'm sorry. I can't. I can't part when someone from the family members is from the family community is sharing love and giving their heart love money situation to the family here. And then you're going to say you want it? You already get paid, Zabrowski. You get paid. I'm here. I'm doing it every day. No pay. And we still pay Zabrowski. I got the check. I got the pen ready to sign. Joanne, how are we doing with the check? Did you print it out? Joanne, it's your one job. You know, I'm here. I got the microphone. I'm here talking into the microphone. That's what the Renaissance Man does. I don't go back there and print out the checks for Zabrowski. That's on you. You know? No, I don't want to hear about the heart again. Right, guys? She's telling us about the heart. We know, quadruple heart. You shouldn't have gone for the extra bugaboo. You heard about the $100, extra bonus. You're getting the $100 bonus. You're like, I could really use that extra 100 because I'm only getting paid doll hair from Mark. So I'm going to go back down to the clinic. I'm not even going to tell them I'm Soros. I'm just going in. I'm going to take a little seat and they're going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Ma'am, are you here for an appointment?" "Nah, I'm here for a bugaboo." "Oh, you are? Oh, good. What's your name?" Dominique Wilkins. They write her down. Dominique Wilkins. She goes in, gets the second. Humongocarditis. They started writing songs about her humongocarditis. It was charted. It charted in the late 2000s. You may have remembered it. It was done by Hiklaki Bupitapabubi. And he was like one of the best in Eastern India, and it had this weird vibe to it because it was an Eastern Indian piece, and Ukulaki did like this. He would take, Joanne's got a humongocarditis and he would be like, Joanne got a humongocarditis by Menon. And he was really good. You guys should have checked it out. I don't know if it charted in India. Yeah, it was one of the Mumbai top 10 of the 2000s. You should have been there. Maybe maybe you're a guy here on the Renaissance Man show. You're out there and you're saying, I was traveling Mumbai early 2000s. I remember that one. When you're in the 21st century and you're dealing with new things, let's call it worldwide pandemics, and new, types of diseases and heart issues. Humongocarditis. That was the blues tune. It was done by Johnny Lang. You guys missed that one. He came and he did that one out of the blue. He's like, you know what? I need to do it. I need to do my Johnny Lang, totally ripping it up on the guitar. And he's like, Joanne, go. He's doing it on the guitar. He did a talk box. He had the talk box and he's going, Joanne's got a massive heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. And the crowd went silent. They usually go crazy. They went silent. Yeah, they were like, what's next? We got to hear, what's the next note after that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the beat seat, they had a beat seat, comes in. And then Lang comes back in, and he's like, Joanne and her gigantic heart, yeah. And he did that high note at the end, and like the crowd at that point went, yeah, Johnny Lang in it. It was the best concert in history. You missed it. You should have been there. In fact, they still talk about it. When you go there and they're like, oh my goodness, remember that concert with Johnny Lang when he was there doing it? It's one of the greatest YouTube moments of all time. It's actually, maybe I should stream it for you. You guys want to see it? Just watch the Johnny Lang, Joanne Magnificent Heart song. It was Chapel Records. Anybody want to look it up? Chapel Records. Joanne, do you have a copy back there? Like we could actually play your copy. It was signed by Johnny Lang.
That was nice of him, you know? Like, he didn't have to go to that extent. You know, he also donated big time, big league, to the Joanne from the Renaissance Man Show's Massively Ridiculous Heart GoFundMe page by Menon. Well, let's see what you're at right now, Joanne. Joanne, Massively Ridiculous Heart, Renaissance Man Show by Menon. $74? Joanne, we're doing it. My brother Justin Bush in the house. Guys, let me explain a little something about my brother JB. I've talked about this before, but he and I were on a baseball team called the Dodgers, and we basically were dominating, you know. I got to say, I always talk about my brother Justin. He doesn't come on as often. I've been on here for 1,123 days. There's been a handful of days I've spoken about my brother Justin, one of my favorite people. And when we were kids, we hung out all the time. There's a couple cool nights we spent at his parents' beach place. But Justin, what I loved about Justin, and this is what I think is important about life when it comes to working with other individuals and finding people that elevate you. My best friend was Justin, and he was a freaking amazing athlete, and he always leveled me up. So anytime I saw him killing it, it made me want to kill it, and together we were just a dominant force on the baseball field. Outside of that, he was so freaking fast. I was telling my kids about this because last week we were talking about what they ran their mile in. And I remember every time I ran the mile with Justin, he beat me at the very end. I always did this wrong. I was sprinting to try to win. And he always had a little more in. At the very end, he beat me the 2 times. I think it was like 6th and 7th grade is what I remember. 6 minutes and 50 seconds, 6 minutes 51, I think I was. And I was like, man, and we were always competing, but we were best friends. And that was what we both, I think, brought each other up to the highest potential. And in life, you want to surround yourself with amazing people who have dogs. Chill it out up there. You know, you're trying to do a Renaissance Man show, you know, rant. And up there, you got Max and you got, I can't even remember her name most of the time because she's so new, Maggie. You know, little St. Bernard. Well, I think my wife's up there. That's why. Guys, so let me get back to it. Justin and I, we played on the Dodgers together. And this whole year, I don't know how Justin tells this story, but I tell it this way because it's so this. We were the Dodgers. The other team that was completely dominating was the Yankees. John Scran, Bobby Kubala, and Pete Ceruto, who I didn't really know, but he's become like one of my favorite people here online. And Pete, I was so afraid of Pete because he was 6'2" already. I was a kid. Justin and I were young. We were kids. This kid already hit puberty when we were playing in minor league, you know, and he was hitting home runs. Like what I remember about Pete was he hit like 35 home runs, and we're going up against him. We didn't play him all year long. Now, Justin and I were killing it that year. We won our division. I don't know how many games we won, but we won a lot of games. And I was a pitcher, and I loved pitching. I was a shortstop. Justin was an amazing second baseman. He was an amazing pitcher. So together, we were like back and forth in it. I'd pitch, he would pitch the next game, or we would just... So we get to the World Series, and I'm pitching all 6 innings. And I was up there. Guys, I did this thing I've never done in my life before, and I don't know if Justin's ever seen this. I've never seen anybody do this. But I get 2 strikes on. I used to throw knuckleballs, but my 3rd strike pitch during the World Series, I never did this any other time, was I'd go into a Dan Quisenberry sidearm pitch. My other pitches, I'd bring my knee up over my eyes, so I didn't even see. Nobody knew where I was throwing the ball. I turned my shoulder to the catcher, knee over my head. I brought my leg up so high, and then I just turn, and I always knew where. I don't know. I just had the direction. I could always put it, but it would scare the hell out of me if I saw me. It was up against me because I wasn't looking at the plate ever. And there was one guy who did this to me. I can't think of his name. He did this weird leg kick thing, and that kid hit me 2 games, and I never batted well again because of that dude. So there's a real thing about getting hit by somebody who throws hard, and then you just step out the rest of your life. I was a terrible batter forever after that because that dude messed my head up. But anyway, going back to the Dodgers, we're in the World Series. We're up against the Yankees, and we never played the Yankees all year. All I know is that the Yankees were winning 35-0, 32-3. They were destroying everybody in home run. Pete just hit 3 home runs last week. And I'm like, who? I see the dude, and I was watching after games because Justin and I were playing in our division. They were in the other, and I think we'd go after, but I saw him hit a couple. We had this kid, John Petrillo, on our team. He was a home run hitter. So we had a little bit of it on our side, but we're in the World Series. And this was a pitching event. It was 0-0 in the 6th inning. I couldn't believe it because these guys hit 30 home runs in every game, 30 runs in every game, 28 runs in every game. So the fact that I had them at 0-0 in the last inning was unbelievable to me. It gets better. So it actually gets worse, but I think there's one out, and I think I may have walked someone, or maybe I hit someone got a hit, someone on first base or second base. No, there's 2 outs. I'm sorry. There were 2 outs, guys. 0-0, 6th inning. It means we're going to extra innings on this. 2 outs, guy on second base. Whoever's at the plate, I don't know who it is. They happen to make contact on whatever I threw. They hit a fly ball, all right, to center field. Guys, usually when you hit a ball to center field, whoever's there has to move to get to the freaking ball. They got to run. You're doing this. The ball is moving. It's shaking while you're running. So there I understand if you miss it or you don't make the catch. Bob, I don't even know if I want to remember his name because it really kills me that this happened to this day. But Bobby, what is his name, Justin? Now I don't even want to remember his name. I think I forgot it. It really bothered me how much this guy was on our team and that we had to put him in the game. And you know what? Right before I threw the pitch, I knew it was going to him. I said, just don't have it go to Bobby. Freaking fly ball, guys, right to Bobby. He didn't have to move. Bobby Johnson. Bobby Johnson sat there. This kid, we all knew, he's had 3 left feet. Yeah, he was doing it. He's sitting there center field. He's center fielding it. And he's looking. He just looks up. Ball in the air, right? That freaking thing hit him right here. He just put his hand up, guys. Didn't have to move like this. He literally sat there. I swear, I want to know if this is exactly the way it happened, because I swear it did. He literally sitting there, Bobby Johnson. The ball goes poof, straight in the air right to him. He's looking at it, and he just goes like this. Hits it on the freaking glove, falls out. They come around in an error and beat us 1-0 in the World Series. To me, it was a success because we lost 1-0 after these guys destroyed everybody. That's the way I saw it. I don't know. Look, I have this philosophy in life. We got to a point where you started giving everybody trophies just for participating. Oh, you were in the game. You're great. Everybody thinks they're great until they find out they suck at things. That is the worst way to raise your child. You want them to learn what they're good at and what they're bad at. Life is about failing at things and redirecting into things that you're really able to accomplish, or you do something that hasn't been done. You need to figure out how to put some fuel on something. You can't do that if everybody's telling you that you're great at everything. You're going to lose all of your energy for anything if you're thinking you're good at everything. It's a journey, and most people aren't willing to take the time to search within. Everybody is comparing and getting back to even when we were kids. Again, I don't think I ever compared myself to anybody. I was doing the craziest things. My leg kick was crazy. I was always a performer. I didn't realize it. But Justin was amazing. I loved playing with Justin. I also tell another crazy story about Justin and I. His father, we used to call it as a joke, but his father's Jack the Whack, okay? And we did this freaking like Toyota commercial once. It was like Toyota, like jumping in the air. It was like crazy. I don't know what it was, but so one of my all-time favorite memories, but also one of the worst memories because of how hard Jack the Whack was on Justin. So he was tough on all of us. He's a freaking Marine, okay? Wasn't your father a Marine, Justin? He was a Marine, then he's a coach, and then he he coached, I think, at Penn State eventually. But Jack was a drill sergeant when it came to getting that team in order. And we were awesome because of it. Don't get me wrong. We were the best team because of Jack Bush. But Jack was awesomely crazy. He'd show up and he'd ask everybody to put their mitts down. And then you'd have to grab a paddle. You guys ever seen this before? Now they have like cushioned paddles for little Karens. No, we had freaking plywood. It was probably like 1/2-inch plywood with straps on the back. Some of the straps are freaking crap too. You're like holding it with 2 hands type of situation. You're like, I got it in the last second. No, we'd at least be able to hold, but you're wearing a paddle, guys. You're wearing a paddle. The idea of this is that you're going to catch ground balls and you're going to go for 2. You're going to throw someone out at first. But the idea is to work with 2 hands, okay? Now, any coach would hit just a decent ball so you get the feel, There were times where Jack Bush, a man, was hitting the ball as hard as he could at Justin. He would hit him hard at me. He'd hit him hard at everybody. but he hit him as hard as he could sometimes at Justin. It was crazy. He would get like these things where he wanted, and again, this is what some people want their kids to excel, and I get it, but he would go so hard sometimes at Justin, and it was just crazy. One time he hit it so hard, Justin moved out of the way and threw the freaking paddle. He's like, I'm done. And it was the funniest moment. Again, these are memories I had from 30 years ago, guys, but the paddles, right, Justin? It was totally nuts. One of my favorite memories ever, but I'm so glad to see Justin here. Justin, I want to give you a little overview of what's happened since the last time you've showed up or been here for this show. 1,123 days in a row last year. I released 12 albums, 156 songs. I wrote them all live here in the moment. 4 feature films were created in the last 6 months. I'm doing a full feature film every month this year and another album every month this year. I have to put my first album of the year out in 3 days. This is the ultimate positivity platform and in the moment creation show. There's no script for over 1,100 days in a row. We do 2+ hours every single day in that time. I got 3 kids. I got a wife. The world is dying and I keep showing up. It still amazes me after all this content and all the positivity we're putting out there and just connecting with people that it's been impossible for people to find this platform. So anybody out there who wants to share the show on a daily, I'm here every single day for the rest of my life. My plan is the last day of my life is the last day of the Renaissance Man show. I refuse to allow this world to fall apart while my children are about to take over. So I'll show up every day and try to make a change one person at a time. So with that in mind, I want to quickly play Justin a song because I don't know how long he could be here. Then I'm going to read you guys the news. I got a lot of great stories. And then we have some more comedy. Got a lot of stuff planned tonight, guys. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, Justin's here. He's doing it. He's doing a show, Renaissance Man, you know? JB, also, if you ever want to come on, I'm doing a new thing where one of the aspects of the show is every night of the week I want to have somebody on. I'd love to talk some of the baseball stories we had, even talk about what you're doing in your business. A lot of what we do here is to try to inspire people to find the greatest version of themselves. And so I've seen a lot of what you've been doing. Plus, I'd love to talk about the Bloody Buddies situation. Like, I think that is amazing. We have to chat. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Just pick any day, my friend. Let me see. I've got a few things booked already. Like, I think Saturday is going to be Danny Coleman. He's got a rock and blues channel on the radio. He's coming on. I love Danny. He's a great guy. And on Sunday, Ron Tyler from EMA is going to be here with us, guys. I'm going to hear all about his story on how he got to, from firefighter to try and help the world, same as I am with any earthquake situations that are coming up on the World Wide Web. Ron is the man. I love Ron. Wages. Guys, do me a favor. Follow all the people that support this program. You know who they are. And if you haven't followed Wages or Ron Tyler at EMA yet, you're out of your minds. So let me quickly play something for JB. Justin, just so you have an idea, I write a lot of songs about society. A lot of songs about us breaking apart as a society and how we need to come back together. But there's also a lot of really, really powerful, songs about us coming together and shutting off all the hatred. In fact, let me see if I could play you something that has a little bit of both. You know what? I'm going to go totally different. We're just going to go for whatever I feel like. Anything here is good. You're going to like it. Because they're all in the moment. That's the other thing I want you to know. Everything you're going to hear, any song you ever hear on Spotify, all my songs are on Spotify, iTunes. They were all written live in the moment. Every word came out live in the moment. This show is about connecting and expressing. And when I do that, these things take place. In fact, I think this is such a pretty song. I think you'd really like it. Our family member Keith came on and said, "Can you play the song Winds of Change by Clocky Boopy?" I don't know who the hell it was. Some random person wrote a song called Winds of Change. I don't know it. So what I do if I don't know a song, and maybe we'll test this in a little while if JB can hit around for a little while. Dude, oh my goodness, JB, we should totally do that. I'm here in Connecticut, in Fairfield, anytime you want. That would be so amazing. Hit that Calendly up there. We're going to chat online. So guys, this right here, let me share something with you. I'm going to put it on and it will express Winds of Change. I'm basically sitting here. Keith says, play Winds of Change. Now here's how I work. A lot of the songs written last year were people asking me to play songs I don't know.
You booked a sunny Verbo ski
And
chalet.
what we do instead is this.
No medical exams on policies under $1 million. For around $1 a day,
see if we can get this going here for like a new song. This is gonna be Keith's rock out. It's called Winds of Change, right? Sometimes when you least expect it, the world shifts under your feet. You got one move from there. You get up and go. There's the winds of change. Get up and go. Feel the winds of change as they push you down the road. You find who you are, you bring it to the surface. Then you feel the light inside of you shine. The winds of change. It's the wind. Wake up, feel the sun on your cheek. Take a deep breath and fill your soul with life. You got one life, you got one chance, you got one path. And so if you just stand up and go right now, you'll find the way. I know you'll find the way in the winds of change. And the winds of change. Look out, the angels call. Keep your ears open for the sound. It will beckon you to come to life, and if you fade away, I'll miss you. 'Cause we can't stop the winds of change. Now we can't stop the winds of change.
you're cooling, rearranging everything are blowing. Your life is changing. Everything you know is all gone. And when the winds change, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Keith right there. Ooh, nothing can stop the light. That's another fire tune.
Enjoy a Wawa
Nothing can stop the light. Change some lives, right? Or can, if people hear it. Should we write something? I gotta plug in the guitar. We're gonna do that. I got these out though. I was like, the first drum for singer-songwriters, my invention, by Menon, doing it. Sometimes the body doesn't line up with the top, you know. You're like, call the doctor. There we go, a little bit better. Maybe I should make the bottom a little bigger too. There we're doing it. There we go. That's about right. You know, still looking weird, but it's better. You know. Anyway, can we get the background? What are we doing? Where's my background? I usually have a really cool background, guys. Where's my background? There it is. Sometimes you just have to get it back in line.
Picking it up.
Because I'm thinking, ooh, race up to the truck drivers? Ooh, I like you. Run one for the truck driver, yeah. All right, let's shut that off. So let's see, we have our backdrop. We're doing it, right? We got our crazy stuff going. You know what we've never done, and we may do it this weekend, is a freaking beat seat drum like loop, crazy loop where we start with something simple and we just keep adding. And before you know, we got a symphony of beat seat sounds. How's it? No, nothing. Okay, Buellard. Beat seat, guys. There's only one. It's my invention. I build them. So if you want one, you can just go to beatseat.rocks. Listen to how many tones there are. Some of them are subtle, but you could hear it if you're a musician specifically. But this stuff's like tom-toms. There's no other drum on the planet that does that. There's a cajon. It has two tones. You got this in a cajon. And you got this is about the as deep as it gets. Maybe a little more. Maybe you get... But you don't get... No. That's a kick drum on a freaking drum kit. That's a snare on a drum kit. But guess what? So is this. I love that you could do shakes on it too. I threw him! Doing it! Writing a song for the truck drivers. So, what do we got? Alrighty. I think we got to write something here. Stop making that noise. I gotta get a new wire clearly. I have to erase something. Ooh, this is coming out on an album. Hopefully, I haven't been able to edit any songs for this new album. This may not be an instrumental, but this one's coming up in one of the future albums. On New Year's Day. Today is a new day. Got the Chinese situation going behind me. What's that thing? Look like it's a computer system, maybe a printer, maybe some sort of CNC machine. Yeah, Grammy got the thing. 20 million people use it every day. Today is a new day. Grammar lady in the background, don't you see this guy smile? Needs a shave, yeah, but he don't care. Gonna smile anyway. Today is a new day, yeah. A new day, it does sound silly. He says it experienced mobile app, special mix of some message you're hired. This guy, he smiled and he says, no, I gotta shave now. Oh, he sets the goal, says maybe get some razors. A new day. Whoa, whoa.
day is a new day. A new dawn. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. I gotta erase that yet. Now we can get rid of Back to the Future mark we already released. It's done. Now we got a new track. We got ready to roll.
Go play. play music, you freaking bleed for it.
to the world. Going on around you, going on around you. It's all getting old now. Are you ready to return? I realize I'm supposed to be doing a song about like truck drivers, but it's not really a truck drivers type of dude. This is more of a laid-back, chill vibe situation, so we're gonna go for a different topic completely. In fact, what kind of song does this feel like, guys? Give me a topic. Give me a topic and I'll sing it for you right now in the moment. About skiing. I like that. White Owl's gonna come on and do a little skiing act anyway, which should make a little character / song out of it. Ooh, you know what it is? We got a freaking crazy storm coming, nor'easter. This is a nor'easter vibe. We're sitting back by the fire. You know, got 2 feet of snow coming down. We're doing it. Woke up this morning, I look out the window and see 3 feet of snow in front of me. I grab my shovel, try to make my way out the garage door, but there's no way to move, no digging tunnels, trying to find my way out. Got candles inside, try to burn my way out. Oh, melting all over me. Whoa, 3 feet of snow, there's no worries to bring to me. I hope you stopped off. Oh, gotta don a party of 6. Yeah, there's no way to dig yourself out of the hole. Yeah, the snow piled up, an avalanche on top of you. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like that in the world we're living in today, and most of us don't get out okay. No. When you push your fear, there's a reaction to that action, yes. And you either cower in the corner or you fight back. Oh, there's one or the other. There's no other. No, it's that though. Are you gonna have a backbone? Yeah. Oh, while I enter the zone, why'd you grab the phone? Yes, oh, where you going out? It's got the snow plowing. Yeah, you're coming to help me out. Go, I gotta pay you double today. Yeah, no one ever seen this much snow in a long time. No, maybe since the Ice Age. looks like the moon. Yeah. Till one day, you see the sun burn it all down, crispy. It's soil, the seeds of life, grow towards the sun, the spring, the summer, back to normal. Oh no, never know, going back to normal, no. Oh, that's the line of the lies you can never get away from. No matter how many times you change your story, we'll always know that you've been hiding everything from us. We find out from the outside looking in. No matter how many voices there are, it doesn't make it true. When you overpower everyone with a lie, doesn't make it true. No, oh, shame on you. Oh, but that's the world we live in. These 5 years, I can say, oh, it's not getting better. No, it's only getting worse. So I don't know if we get through it. Okay, let's see if we can come together one day. Every night we're here, where you been, I'll be here tomorrow too. Oh, that's what we do. We come out, we find the moment. It's full of magic if you own it. You gotta get into the zone, find it, but you cannot give up. No. There's something there, I swear, yo. You got to give in. You got to let it go. You gotta let it go. Let it go. 'Cause it's all meant to hold you down. No, you can't hear sound. Overwhelmed with all the noise. Intended to distract you from this moment. Successful every day, it seems to me. No, 'cause we're all wrapped up in it. We can't get away from it. No, it keeps on going every day. Tuning into the negative by looking, all I see is you're gonna die. Go get your bugaboo. Oh, how about get back to some real news? Tune in the Renaissance Man Show. I got 7 stories for you every day. Gonna do SNL style when it was funny way back in the day. All you gotta do is tune in every night, 10 p.m. Gonna go out, take you for a spin around the block. Around the world, we're going for the moon. They'll be heading there in 2024. Artemis, I don't know, is it the first time we're gonna be there real? No animations, no cinematography, no going there, real thing. Gonna see, bold plans about time. I've been waiting for someone to do something right. Maybe get some answers this time. Whoa. You never know, do you know? You never know unless you look for your own. 'Cause if you listen what they say and if you do what they say, you never know what's true anyway. You're led by a wolf and you're the sheep. I don't know what's better if you go down earlier or later. Being the enemy is never anything anyone wants. But when you're a positivity show and you're the enemy, then you know you're in the friggin' twilight zone. You're in the twilight zone. You're in the twilight zone. Twilight zone. You'll come out there no matter time. Say, yeah, it's the craziest thing going on. You'll never believe it. Yeah, it's out of a dream. Yeah, maybe a nightmare in the twilight zone. Yeah. Whoa, you're in the twilight zone. Yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa. You're in the twilight zone. Yeah, yes. In the twilight zone. Oh, in the twilight zone. Yeah. Oh, you're in the twilight zone. Oh, no, no. I'm in the twilight zone. Yeah. You're in the twilight zone. 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 Woo! Oh yeah. You're in the twilight zone. You sure are. Dealing with it. Yep. 2022. It's as crazy as it can be. Yep. Everybody's out of their friggin' minds. Can't figure it out anymore. Can't we all just get along? You're in the twilight zone. On this episode of The Twilight Zone, you're in the Twilight Zone. 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 I just broke a string. Let's finish this up. You're in the Twilight Zone. Well, in the twilight zone. I threw my string. Throw on the string instead of the pick tonight. Hold on. There's a pick throw too, because we just wrote a song called "Living in the Twilight Zone." I'm in the Twilight Zone. We're in the Twilight Zone. We're in the freaking Twilight Zone, right? What are we talking about over here? Just giving the kiss to the old Lessie. You know, sometimes you got to give Lessie a kiss. And when you do it, you're giving respect. You're giving respect to Lessie when you do it, you know. So that's a little unintended original jam start to the show. Let's just listen really quick. We have to see if it was good at all. Twilight Zone. You're in the Twilight Zone. You're in the Twilight Zone. Don't you know you're in the Twilight Zone? Yeah, no matter what you think, it's all crazy. Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm dreaming. Cause it's gotta be a stream of a day that never should. Alright, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not our best, but it's okay. It's okay. We broke a string on it though, but you got to be good enough to at least break a string. Anyway, guys, we do have some news stories for you. I think we should get into them. This guy right over here. This is a very sad story that we're about to get into over here. Actually, it's not the one. Hold on, we're jumping the ship here. Don't jump. You can't jump ahead. Okay. So the Black Knight satellite. Hold on, we need a little something here. There we go. Channel 7 102.7 News. By Men in News. Mark Pyers Renaissance Man News. Still coming up with a name. Hammerlin Jameson's been retired, I guess. I think it's better I do it than Hammer, because Hammer's a gimmick. I like reading the news. The Black Knight satellite, a hodgepodge of alien conspiracy theories. Sounds like exactly what I love. Let's get into it. Sometimes the introduction of a news report will stop you in your tracks, forcing you to reread. Guys, can we do this a little slower and maybe, take your time through it? Like, what are we talking about over here? Sometimes the introduction of a news report will stop you in your tracks, forcing you to reread in fear you didn't quite grasp its point in the first time. Its point the first time. Really? Joanne, shouldn't have put in there. That means you're doing a teleprompter. I'm reading it and you put it in? One more time, Joanne. Forcing you to reread in fear you didn't quite grasp its point the first time. Grab the freaking whiteout. No, I don't care where you get it from. If it's in the drawer, you can open up the drawer one more time. Guys, I'm sorry. Hold on. I can still feel it. I could feel it when she did it. She opens that cabinet. Zabrowski, he keeps forgetting to bring me the WD-40. I can't be meant to get it. I'm a real estate agent. Can't also get the WD. That's on Zabrowski. He keeps forgetting. Anyway, guys, when you're doing it, you're doing it. Oh, Texas Lady, you're not going to want to miss this, though. We're into the news right now. Lots of interesting things going on, like the Black Knight satellite, a hodgepodge of alien conspiracy theories, which is exactly what the Renaissance Man Show is into. We want to hear about the crazy, and then we can determine if it's crazy or if it's real. Sometimes crazy is real. Sometimes crazy is just freaking crazy. Well, let's get into the story and find out. Sometimes the introduction of a news report will stop you in your tracks, forcing you to reread in fear you didn't quite grasp its point the first time. That was certainly the case when Mail Online published a story on March 21st, 2017. An alien satellite set up more than 12,000 years ago to spy on humans has been shot down by elite soldiers from an Illuminati, UFO hunters claim.
And with that, the conspiracy surrounding the so-called Black Knight satellite appeared to be very much alive. It's been more than 120 years. Conspiracy theorists believe the existence of the Black Knight was first recorded. Those who subscribe to the theory invoke an extraterrestrial spacecraft in near polar orbit of Earth. Although they draw upon pieces of evidence so desperate that it's not entirely clear why people link them, what it all amounts to is a strange brew that has spurred some folks to shout about cover-ups by NASA and other government entities. It's a legend that refuses to go away. This guy over here would tell us about it. You want to hear what he has to say? Oh, no. Okay, we'll get to it. Is he a Russian? Let's see, Eddie Institute.
You may have heard about this signal originally found by Russian astronomers in 2015 actually, that might be a signal from a star system 95 light years away. We've been looking for this signal using the Allen telescope array. We spent 2 nights looking for it. We couldn't find it.
I love how excited people get.
So what was it? Could it have been ET and then for some reason they went off the air? Or could it have been terrestrial interference? You know, something like a telecommunications satellite or a radar on an aircraft. Well, we still don't know. We couldn't find the signal. And now the Russian Academy of Sciences is saying it was a military satellite. So,
of course.
No detection yet, but look, you know, you can't always be cynical. If a signal is looking promising, we are going to check it out.
I'm glad he's doing that. I like this guy. Guys, at the end of the day, if you're not looking into it and you're going to take the Russians saying that, oh, it was just a whatever. I don't trust the Russians in anything. You wouldn't trust them as far as you could throw them, right? Hal, you shouldn't be throwing anybody with your bad back. What movie? Ed, you shouldn't be throwing anybody with your bad back. Bueller? Anybody? A lot of earliest discoveries have been linked to the Black Knight satellite theory relate to radio signals, but a series of images from 1998 really threw the celestial cat among the pigeons. They were taken during STS-88, the first space shuttle mission to the International Space Station. This is ISS over here. That's what you say when you're going, like when you're an actual astronaut. You're like, I'm going to the ISS. You can't be meant to say International Space Station. You're a freaking scientist. I get it. You want to do a short-termer. Oh, guys, I'm going to ISS. Oh, you can't say International Space Station? You've elevated above saying the full, title? You're going to do acronyms? I spend so much time schooling. I can't say 3 words. I have to do an acronym situation. No, you don't have to do it. You're doing it. That's on you. And I'm calling you out. Jerry Ross. I think that's who it is. We'll find out in a moment. We're getting to it. Therefore, all to see were images released by NASA that showed a black object hovering above our planet in low Earth orbit. Yeah, no, Joanna, it wasn't your father's, mission vehicle. We know he's out there too doing some sort of weird Senator Palpatine stuff. But anyway, maybe he's on the Black Knight. What's it called? Black Knight? Yeah, the Black Knight. Maybe he's on the Black Knight. No, he wouldn't. He's a racist. I get it. She says he's a racist. Look, some people are just horrible human beings. Joanne? And it just happens to be your father. Terrible. Anyway, look, at the end of the day, remember, they saw this black object hovering above our planet. Object, I said it. And they're looking for answers, I'm trying to figure out where the hell I was. And it wasn't long after the images were thrust in front of a hopeful public before people were performing some conspiratorial sums, sharing them with a wider world. Sometimes I got to bring the story in front so I don't have to keep looking to the side. You know what I'm talking about. By way of explanation, STS-88 astronaut Jerry Ross pointed out that the ISS, again, Joanne, they're doing the short-termer, the acronym. They can't say it. That's just be like Bush League journalism right there. Bush League. Oh, the ISS. Yeah, we get it. You're just lazy. You couldn't even just sometimes you do a spell check. You start typing in internet and they'll just give it the rest. All you have to do is click it. You click it and all of a sudden you see, and you're there, International Space Station. You're doing an ISS. Acronyms. That's how lazy you are as a journalist. Just saying, no Pulitzer. This guy, we're going to find out who the writer was afterward. He's not getting a Pulitzer. I'm not giving him a Pulitzer. No. I have say. I got to vote on the Pulitzer Committee. What's that, Joanne? No. I made a call. Now I'm on the committee. I texted actually. Yep, I got it back. Says you're on. Joanne, when you have connections and you just do it a little quick and everybody's in, I'm in there now. We're going to have a conversation about it and see why they're doing the acronyms. Anyway, we're going back to it, Jerry Ross. We need to see, what is he thinking over here? The U.S. team, he said, was on its way to attach the American module to the one created by the Russians. The Russians, in the butt of the work, they had taken 4 trunnion pin thermal covers with them. I'm going to pretend like I knew what the hell that was. The task was to wrap these around 4 bare trunnion pins. The old trunnion pin. I was actually on a mission as a kid trying to sell, like candy bars to the neighbors. And they said, well, what do you get when you get a candy bar? I said, look, you get a candy bar, but you collect the candy bar, barcodes, and you connect 35 of those barcodes, you get trunnion. They were thrilled that I was actually, giving out trunnions as well, because they were getting the candy plus a trunnion. This is a double-decker. When you get a double-decker, the whole world smiles. So what happened then? These being rods that were attached to the module in the Space Shuttle Endeavour while it was being transported. They did one of these while they were transporting it. They're like, we're astronauts. They went 5 feet and they were on green screen. They're like, we can't go anymore. At the end, they figured that they would act to prevent heat loss from the exposed metal. They use aluminum going to space 4,000 degrees. It melts at, 1,500, but they did it. Unfortunately, during one of the space walls associated with this work, things went a little bit wrong. One of the covers came loose from its tether. Oh no, causing it to float away along some other items. Jerry, one of the thermal covers got away from you. STS-88 Commander Roberto Benini said, now he serves as Associate Administrator at NASA. Roberto Benini's the Associate Administrator at NASA? Joanne, that is pretty cool. Roberto Cabana Benini. He's this distant relative. He's not the same one that was in, it's a different guy, Benini. Didn't Academy Award, Benini. Ross, during the spacewalk, soon became apparent that the cover was lost for good. Subsequently captured on camera, the runaway black object was given the catalog number U25570 by NASA. What's the NASA, Joanne? I'm looking on the screen. I see NASA. I don't know what that is. NASA. Oh, nothing, anything, space, afterthought. What are we saying? I don't know what is NASA. It was a thing. What is that? Oh, NASA. Oh, that's right. I heard about them. They used to do things. That's right. I forgot. They used to do things, right? Okay. A few days later, they fell from orbit and it burned up. Much of this information has been placed on record. Former NASA engineer, $61 billion a day, something like crazy. How much money do they spend a day, Joanne? Can you look that up for me? Give me a number. What does it cost a day to run NASA? I want the figure. When's the last time they went to the moon? Or when did they ever been to the moon? Did they go? Was it real? Kubrick. Just saying, you do a Kubrick and you go out there and you see him and he's telling the story. He's like, look, deathbed confessional. It's me. I was there. I put the lighting up and I did it. I shot it. And who the hell else did the really cool pan on the way out? And who the hell caught as it landed? Did they drop him off first? They parachute him down. Hey, listen, Chuck, you're going down to the surface of the moon. You're the first one. You're the first one. You're going on the moon. But we can't ever let anybody know that. You don't let anybody know that you were the first one on the moon. Okay? Because we have to let Armstrong get the credit. Okay? He's the first one on the man, you know what I'm saying? He does it. One small step for humanity, one large sweep for mankind. He does it like a John Kennedy voice instead. But you can't let anybody know that you're there because someone's got to man the camera. How are you going to get the capsule down onto the surface of the moon and not film that moment, for history, prosperity? You're there. They're in the 265,000 miles away. We're doing it live. Yeah, I know they're watching it live. And also, I'm panning live 265,000 miles away. I'm using a toggle 64K, 8K, 8 kilobyte, guys. The whole thing. That's what the memory. 8 kilobyte I had a toggle, and I was able to freaking maneuver a camera on the moon live. You're there, right? Don't talk about Chuck. He's not allowed to be. You don't give him the credit, okay? Yeah, he shot it. Yeah, he was there first. Yeah, his footprints had to be wiped away afterwards. You know, can't let people come by and be like, "Who was wearing the 4.5s?" Yeah, he was really small feet. He had those really weird small feet, normal size, 6'3" actually, but these really small 4.5 foot 4.5s for men's shoes. You had to go to the boys, the boys' Foot Locker Kids. He's in there. Sometimes you would go and he would try to get some Keds, And when he got the Keds, they were like, this is a gold mine here. We have an adult wearing our shoes. We should see if he'll do a brand sponsorship, which he was totally all in on, that was how it all came out. Nobody knew. They were like, everybody thought it was real. And then all of a sudden, Chuck, he gets this brand partnership, this 4.5s. He's wearing them. And they're like, oh my goodness, Chuck, you're a genius. Why have we never met you before? He's like, well, it's because I was on the friggin' moon. They're like, what? You went to the moon? He's like, yeah. How the hell do you think that shot was done? That's where the whole thing opened up. Everybody's like, what? Yeah. Sometimes you just get the insight. You just know what's happening. You know what to do. You just pull the trigger. You shoot the shot. You get Chuck in there with his size 4.5s. Get it done, Chuck. Take the picture. We're going to wipe away your 4.5s afterwards. Because they got, you're there. And everybody's got their normal size shoes, men's size shoes between 9 and 12. You're there in 4.5. They're going to think there's an alien on the moon. Same time. So we have to, make sure we wipe those away before we leave. But, do me a favor. Grab that parachute. We're kicking you out the door. First parachuter ever on the moon, by the way. But nobody will ever know. By the way, it's going to take you 4 days once we kick you out to float down to the moon because of the gravity, So it's just like you're going to kind of do like this weird Chris Angel where you're doing like you had your hands like this and you're coming down, but you're going really slow. And like we get down before you. So like you have to somehow go like this. You do like a Charlie in the Chocolate Factory backwards with Grandpa Charlie, Grandpa, whatever the Charlie or whatever his name is. And you're going like this. And you're trying to go down. You didn't have the fizzy pop. I can't believe you didn't bring the fizzy pop. That's sometimes when I wonder about you. You're going. You're out there. You're doing it. You don't have a fizzy pop. Now you're on the moon, trying to get there. We're trying to time it. Capsule. Woo! Like we got to time that capsule so we're coming down. And you got the camera to do this. So then when Armstrong comes out and says, this is one small step for humanity, one giant leap for mankind, you're there capturing it, and you zoom in at that point. I want you to get a zoom in on Armstrong when he gets that coming off the ladder, sound staging it. You get in, okay? And when Buzz Aldrin comes off that spacecraft, you throw something at Buzz, okay? Just do it. I want you to throw something at Buzz. Just see how good his reflexes is. He's number 2 for a reason. He's crap. Armstrong was the guy. We needed, also that name, Buzz. No, I'm sorry. You had to be a number 2 when your name was Buzz. You talked to your parents about that. You actually, your numbers were better than Armstrong's. Like when we look back at it, you were like top recruit. You were the top cadet, and you did the G thing better than Armstrong. But like Buzz Aldrin, no, I'm sorry. That's a number 2, Neil Armstrong. Yeah, no, that one sounds good, guys. It's a strong name. We're going with Neil Armstrong because it's a strong name, guys. Buzz Aldrin, it sounds like he's going to take a nap. Buzz, Buzz, go buzz off. Oh, go. Are you going to take an Aldrin? He's number 2. He's a number 2 guy. No, we're going with a super strong name. Do we have any strong names? Anything that's a really strong name on staff? That crap guy? That guy eats Fritos and farts all the time? Come on. You're going to put him on the capsule?
with Aldrin and everybody else. No, you're right. It is a very strong name, Neil Armstrong. You know what? Let's do it. They can deal with the Frito farts. You know, it's times like this that remembering the occurrences of the moon mission that really keep me going at night, where I'm just like, yeah, I could go to sleep now. I learned everything I could about the landing on the moon, the original one, and Chuck, with his cinematography skills and his size 4.5s. Oshkosh, too. Sometimes he would go to Oshkosh because his socks, he needed special socks. I mean, 4.5s? What are you going to do? You're going to wear like 9 to 10, 4.5? No, I'm sorry. And he had a wide foot. It was still really wide. He had like a chunky, wide, weird foot. It was only 4.5s, and his toes were short too. So it was like very odd. But look, he still made it work, He just couldn't tap dance very well. Oh my goodness. Oh, he couldn't tap dance. Oh my goodness. Can't keep it together. Joanne. He called Fred Astaire, though. He's like, is there any way around it? Like, is there any way I can overcome? Like I've heard that manifesting is a thing. Is there any chance that, you can get like Gregory Hines and the two of you? We got coming down. Fred Astaire, Gregory Hines. I get my tap shoes on. Tap shoes with, when you do a tap shoe and you're dealing with the 4.5s from Chuck, it was like, he didn't have a chance to be, because it was so close. Poor guy. Chuck, He got the brand deal, though. When he did that, he walked in there, he got the deal. He's got the Keds. Everybody's talking about the Chuck Keds. Everybody was like, we went through a period of time where people were like, did you get the Chucks? Did you get the Chucks? Everybody wanted their Chuck Taylors. And then it went from Chuck Taylors to getting the Chuck Keds. Did you get the Chucks? Well, which ones? The Taylors or the Keds? The freaking Keds. What, are you kidding me? Everybody went crazy for the Keds. The stock blew through the roof for Keds. I wish I was part of that bubble. I didn't get in, but they were doing very well, because of when you get there, the Keds, and you got Chuck, his 4.5s. He had the meaty 4.5s. So he had 4.5s this way and this way. That was weird, because you had to make a block foot. What the freak? They had to make a block. They had to make a block foot shoe. Do you know how hard it is to make square leather? Especially with the part that comes down on an angle, at the front, so the toes don't totally go, like, you don't want the toes to have that much breathing room, so it's like a straight up box. So you got it, you're still doing it, but the back is straight, and then the front you're going, it's like you're walking around like Eddie Munster, and you're trying to figure out if you can use that as a skill. Can I use my box feet, for something? Sliding through like an air duct or something to get into the bank, or kicking through a wall and making it a perfect square. Or perhaps you can get a gig where when it's warm enough, you just kick your foot into the ground really, really hard, and it's like a perfect 4x4 hole for you to put a post for fencing. And you could be like the fencing master. People will be like, oh, I had to pay $8,000 for my fence. And you're like, I'll do it for $6,000. And you're like, how could you do it for so cheap? And you're like, whack, and you show them, and they're like, hired. Anybody who's going to show me how they do it in the moment, then they're there, and they're actually like, hey, this is me performing for you as a freebie. Hole in the ground, post. He put a post too. That was crazy. This guy brought the actual post. He goes, and he went like this after, like he was freaking Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
And the guy was like, oh my goodness, post in the ground, post in the ground. Look at all the fools at the post in the ground. And he hired him on the spot. Yeah, he got the gig because he had the weird freaking like fleshy 4x4 shoe. You know, he had a specially made one when he got that gig where he was the guy doing the fencing, where they made one out of steel like he was a horse. Instead of branding it in so it stuck forever, he was able to tie it on. And when he had that steel, you know, and they'd actually, you know, this was just when he got really, really skilled and he was able to walk on them, they would actually sharpen them. So it was an easier push into the ground, you know, and he would build that hole to get really quick. And I'll tell you what, that $6,000... profit, you know, because he's there. Done. Guy comes in behind, walking a couple feet down, whack. You know, he's in and out. $6,000. The other guy had spent like freaking days cutting, digging holes, you know. But Chuck was not only an amazingly skilled cinematographer when it came to the moon landing and being the first to land on the moon. And then, like, they parachuted him down. Remember, he did, like, it was so slow. He needed to do Grandpa Charlie. And he's doing like this, trying to, because he forgot his fizzy pop. That's on him, you know. But he finally gets down there. He beats us just in time so we could come down. Capsule situation up there. And he's zooming in, right? He zooms in. Wait a second. I'm going to go up and watch the capsule. And then we're doing this. That's why they put him there, because they realize there's no way we can actually do that from, you know, Cape Canaveral. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to drop you off first, Chuck. Don't say a freaking word. Remember, anybody who speaks doesn't ever speak again. You know what I mean? I am not going to say what I mean when I say that, but you know what I mean. If you talk, you sleep with the fish. You sleep with the fishes. If you don't know it, now you know it, Chuck. That's why Chuck kept his mouth shut for a very long time until he got that sponsorship brand deal. You know, Keds, that was a huge turning point. Huge turning point for Chuck's career. And all of a sudden, when he's Ked sponsoring it, and they're like, oh, tell us more, Chuck. They wanted to see it. They're trying to figure out his meaty, fleshy foot. And they're like, oh, tell us more, Chuck. And he's like, well, did you know I was the first to leave horse footprint posts on the moon? And I created like a hitching post on the moon. Because when I was there, I got there first. You guys want to hear a good story. They dropped me down. I'm there. I'm pulling. I'm holding on because I had to get into that specific area. They had a target area. They're like, look, Chuck, you need to land there because that's where we want the capsule to come down. You know, I get down there doing it. Grandpa Charlie, I'm getting down. I finally get to the surface of the moon because I'm seeing them come down the capsule. I'm like, these guys are moving too much. Like, I don't know why because it's like a crap. This is a crap capsule. This thing is crap. And I'm like, I think I need to figure out a way to build like, you know, almost like a hole for each of the feet on this stupid lunar module as it lands on the surface of the Earth. So instead of it being like topsy-turvy, it falls right into these perfectly sized 4x4 holes. Oh, it looks like a 3-packer. Bang, biggity boo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang, biggity boo. And he's pushing through that gravity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang, biggity boo. Lunar capsule. Neil Armstrong comes out. You know, first step for man. You know, soundstage in it. Look, sometimes you get the answers and they're right in front of you. Sometimes you decide to look at things and say, sure, that makes sense. And sometimes you see an astronaut literally taking like cardboard from space and opening and closing it like that's the hatch and it worked. And then you say to yourself, are people really stupid? And then I'd say to you, abso-freaking-lutely. And me, I was too until I saw everything. But Armstrong, first on the moon, biggest lie of them all. You know, like if it happened, it was Chuck who was on the moon first. Just letting you know. So after that 20-minute sidestep from the news that we're doing right now, we're getting back into the story.
Every step of the way, there is consistency when learned a lifelong spice. Why do I have it all the way over here, guys? Because I was trying to do the thing. We were watching it. Before leaving NASA, I led a trajectory design team that produced the mission profile. Every step of the way, there is consistency with what I learned. It's a lifelong spaceflight operations specialist. Why the blankets were needed, why not one of them came loose, why it floated off the way it did, he added. The difference, what the freak are we reading here? I don't care about your spacewalk. What's the story with this? Did we pass the spacewalk thing? We're watching something else. Like, I want to read more about the thing we were doing. Yeah, where's the photo evidence? Okay, here we go. This is the one we've all seen where there's this black craft and it looks like a serpent's head, like a cobra's head. I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised if there was some sort of black knight that's circling around us, constantly keeping an eye on us. Absolutely. So this was interesting, guys. I wanted to cover this story because I just think this sounds very cool. Scientists claim Rh negative blood type people may not be from Earth. Anybody see this one? Woo! All human blood types contain and are categorized by amounts of protein, except type Rh negative. That is it possible that human beings possessing the latter blood type are actually from Mars, Venus, or somewhere else in the universe? Well, since the known laws of physics break down past the horizons of black holes, truly anything is possible. But is it likely that Rh negative blood has unearthly origins? Only 15% of human beings have this strange type of blood. And what's more, these individuals have been described as having strange personal characteristics as well. Oddly enough, Rh negative blood can be utilized by any human being in need of a transfusion, but people with Rh negative blood naturally coursing through their veins cannot make use of any other type of blood at all. Wow. Furthermore, the vast majority of these latter individuals happen to reside in Northern Europe. Even more fascinating are the facts are that these people tend to have green or blue eyes, naturally orange colored hair, cool body temperatures, and sensitivity to hot temperatures. More intriguing yet are claims that the physical, mental, and emotional awareness of these individuals is heightened. And no, this is not a sneaky lead into an upcoming movie or sort of promotion whatsoever. In fact, it is widely known that pregnant women with type Rh negative blood have extreme difficulty giving birth when their babies possess Rh positive blood type. In this situation, it is not a stretch to say the woman's body actually attempts to kill the baby inside of it. But is all of this enough to conclude that Martian, Venusian, or alien theories are correct? Perhaps a more important question to ask yourself is what will or what should happen if one of the theories comes true. I guess that's the story. I thought it was going to be more than that, but I don't read these stories before I just take the titles, and I'm like, that's cool. This right here, I want to see if I could keep the story ad open. It may not be able to be seen. Oh, we're going to put it up. So, hospital patient without a CV shot denied heart transplant. This is a crazy story, guys, because, well, let's just read it. A Boston hospital is defending itself. Not sure how you can defend yourself. Boston is doing the worst with this situation. Check this out. A Boston hospital is defending itself after a man's family claimed he was denied a new heart for refusing to be bugabooed against CV9, saying most transplant programs around the country set similar requirements to improve patients' chances of survival. The family of DJ Ferguson said in a crowdfunding appeal this week that officials at Brigham and Women's Hospital told the 31-year-old father of two that he's ineligible for this procedure because he hasn't been bugabooed against the CV9. We are literally in a corner right now. This is extremely time sensitive. The family said in a fundraising appeal, which has raised tens of thousands of dollars. This is not just a political issue. People need to have a choice. DJ's mother, Tracy Ferguson, insists that her son isn't against bugaboos, noting he's had other immunizaciones in the past, but the trained nurse said Wednesday that he's been diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, an irregular and often rapid heart rhythm, and that has his concerns about the side effects of the cove CV199. You know what I'm saying? DJ is an informed patient. Tracy Ferguson said in a brief interview at her home in Mendon, about 30 miles southwest of Boston, he wants to be assured by his doctors that his condition would not be worse or fatal with this COVID. Brigham and the Women's Fund said, or whatever. I can't even read the list. Whatever, guys. I'm through this one. I'm done with it. I don't want to hear any more. This is good, right? Maybe. Marvel actress Evangeline Lilly attended a DC anti-bugaboo protest. The actress, who previously refused to self-quarantine as she lived in her cancer-free stricken father, now says she was protesting against bugaboos and mandates in Washington, D.C. I think that's good enough. Anyway, pretty cool that she's doing that. We need more people that are speaking out against what's actually happening in this world. Adult who, at 17, assaulted sexually a minor is sentenced to juvenile facility. I just want to share this with you because this is where our disgusting world is going. A 26-year-old transgender woman who at 17 sexually assaulted a child while serving a 2-year sentence in a juvenile facility rather than a jail for adults, a judge ruled Thursday. Wait, let me say that again. She sexually assaulted a child, and she'll serve a 2-year sentence in a juvenile facility rather than a jail for adults. The judge ruled this on Thursday. The case of Hannah Tubbs, who had admittedly sexually assaulted a 10-year-old in 2014 in a bathroom at a Denny's restaurant in Palmdale, has thrown a spotlight on Los Angeles District Attorney George Cascone's refusal to seek the transfer of juvenile defendants to adult court. Gascon has argued that the brains of juveniles weren't fully developed and that the proper setting to rehabilitate people who commit crimes while underage is a juvenile treatment facility. She's freaking 26. He, she, whatever is she. I'm not sure which one she is. Is she? She's a transgender woman, so she's a woman now. Now, Jordan Peterson said this the best. You're born with an X, Y, or an XX, right? Or isn't that what it is? X, Y, or XX? You can't change that. That's science. You can be something. You could feel like you're not connecting with your natural XX chromosome, That's natural. There's a lot of people when I was growing up that just decided they felt differently, and that's okay. That's the world's about. Feel different. Find what makes you happy, but don't spend too much time changing. When you're pretty amazing the way you are. Just try to find that amazing before you decide to give it up. Although Tubbs committed the crime in 2014, she was not arrested and charged with the crime until January of 2021. When Gasson was in office, in the interim, she had been arrested for battery, drug possession, and probation violations in Idaho and Washington, and convicted of assault with a deadly weapon in Kern County. According to Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's office officials, she was also arrested on suspicion of sexually assaulting a minor, but wasn't prosecuted for the alleged offense. So they let her go into a juvenile facility? What are we talking about over here? Holy cow. In November, Tubbs admittedly sexually assaulted the 10-year-old girl, an attack that the law enforcement officials said stopped only when someone else walked into the bathroom. Guys, this is madness. What are we doing in this world? I'm so sick of how stupid people are and they allow these things to happen. Ben Roethlisberger, great quarterback, 18 seasons, has decided to announce his retirement from the National Football League. In a video posted on social media on Thursday, Roethlisberger said, "The time has come to clean out my locker, hang up my cleats, and continue to be all I can be for my wife and children. I retire from football, a truly grateful man." Sitting with his wife Ashley and their children, Roethlisberger thanked Rooney family and his teammates and Steelers fans in the video, which also showed the 39-year-old quarterback clearing out his locker for the final time. In a career that will likely culminate the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction, Roethlisberger won 165 games and threw 64,088 yards and 418 touchdowns over 18 seasons. The Steelers went to the Super Bowl 3 times along the way, winning 2 Lombardi trophies. Roethlisberger ranks 5th all-time in career passing yardage behind Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning and Brett Favre. The 8th in career passing touchdowns. Pittsburgh never experienced a losing season under Roethlisberger's career, even making one last playoff appearance after qualifying on the final day of 2021 regular season. 18 years ago, Pepe's was the first local eatery to name a sandwich after the quarterback. The Roethlisberger is probably a burger. I think, right, his name's with an E, so there we go. They just kept coming and coming and coming from all parts of the country. Owner Jeff Trebek, Alex Trebek's son, we miss you, Alex. You were awesome. Reflecting on the popularity of the quarterback and the menu item he inspired. At the North Side Sandwich Shop, James Polazik, I think I said that correct, recalled a favorite moment among Pittsburgh fans. Roethlisberger's game-winning touchdown pass in the final moment of Super Bowl XL 111. Was that 33? 33, I think. Down in Tampa, the throw to Santonio Holmes through the corner was definitely the highlight of many memories and all the things that he has done, Polazik said. That stands out, Steelers fan Jeff Cohen agreed. You won't find another one like that. A shirt designed by Yinzers, a local sports merchandise vendor, says, "Thank you, Big Ben," with a 7 in the middle. And back on Pittsburgh's win-loss records over the years since 2004, none of them below 500. Owner Jim Cohn said the shirt was an instant sellout. Customers want to wear something that's nostalgic and thank Ben for giving us a lot of entertainment for the last 18 years, he said. And then he said, "Bye, Menon." And that was the end of Roethlisberger, Pooper. You know, sometimes when you're doing it and you got a Roethlisberger, you got it. Guys, this one right here, this is why we are doing our title of the show tonight. We're wrapping up this show. Geez. NASA's Artemis 1 moon mission explained in photos. They're going to the moon. See, there are the pictures. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. NASA is getting ready for a launch to Artemis 1 mission to prepare returning humans to the moon. The uncrewed journey of the Space Launch System rocket and Orion spacecraft will be crucial to get the two systems ready for humans to future moon missions later in the decade. You can't leave this closed system. We can't. Van Allen belt. Take a look and slideshow below and learn about the Artemis 1 mission and how it will work. I don't really want to do it. Guys, listen, at the end of the day, they're Van Allen belting it at some point. They have to figure out a way through that. And that's why I know that nothing's ever happened yet. They could send ships out there. They could send things through it. But they can't send humans through it. Nothing's coming back. So, unless it's somebody who's crazy enough to go through it and not want to come back. Bill Nye had his thing on that. He's like, just want your generation to understand that this is a closed system. No one's ever leaving. I was like, geez, he's on to something, you know? I'd love to talk to him. We're starting to interview everybody here, so if you want to be on, let me know. Guys, what an awesome show. 2 hours, 3 minutes, a song, the news. And my brother Justin Bush was on at the beginning of the show. I told you a few stories about baseball when I was a kid. How cool is that? Oh, fam and friends. Sid, Pamela, Raven, S-Coop, Samuel, which I think you're a troll. I'm sorry that you're trolling us. You're not really. You're just putting something on. No one's going to go check out Sister 19. No one's looking at it. Sister 19, yeah, that's just a really rude thing. Yeah, what you doing to me? Yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. Samuel Macmillan, what you feeling? Gotta go out, Raven Kiefer. The Van Allen belt, right? Firmament. Ooh, that's even another one. Said I didn't even think about that, but the Van Allen belt, you can't get through that for sure. I mean, if there's a firmament, then it's a whole different ballgame. Like there are spacecrafts that are out there shooting things, though, right? That have gone out. So I think that's not. I don't know. I don't think there's like a glass ceiling. Maybe there is. I don't freaking know. Nobody knows anything. We're all out of our minds. What does that say? Hold on. What does that say? Something about my car. Ooh, they charged my car back up. Guys, my car has been dead since. I didn't even tell you this story, but I went down there today. They were like, yeah, we can't get it to start. I was like, and then they dragged the freaking thing onto the flatbed. So, like, that tranny could be shot. I don't even know what's going on with that. So, it's going to be interesting to find out what happens. Because the car's still under warranty. I need a good lawyer if they wind up saying, sorry, buddy, like I'm paying for that car. It's sitting in the shop. I'm paying. I own that car. I have to pay for that car. It's sitting in the shop. I have to figure that out. Anyway, fam, friends, I will be back tomorrow, Friday. I'm going to probably be on a few times tomorrow, or at least early. I'm coming on early tomorrow. Thinking about 8 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock. We'll see. Depends on how squirrely I'm feeling. It's actually going to be more like 7:30, 8 o'clock if I can get it to work out. So if you can, join me early. We're going to be rocking all night tomorrow. Okay? So, until tomorrow, fam and friends, we may be filming a movie tomorrow, finishing up one of our movies. Told you about my concept. Every time I interview someone, they have to be a part of some movie. We're going to be shooting something. I'll figure it out, I guess, when I have my first interview with Ron on Sunday. Anyway, fam and friends, till tomorrow when we do it all over again. It's Mark Pyres. And it's Renaissance, man. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. You got to go away. You got to go away. See you tomorrow, fam. Have a great night. You got to